Good afternoon. Welcome back to Oneida Live here on the Oneida Nation Reservation in Wisconsin. Today's Tuesday, December 16th, and I'm Bobby Webster. I'm the PR Director for the Oneida Nation. So with us today, we have a special guest, Connor Castell, and he is with our Oneida Veterans Affairs Office. He is the Veterans Services Affairs Manager.
Veteran Services Manager.
All right, I'm sorry. I have to tell you all what happened. My laptop went down and I'm using a fake laptop. So if I go off script today, I apologize. But Connor's going to tell us a little bit about the Veterans Affairs and the services that they offer over there here on Riverdale Drive in Oneida. Connor.
It's great to be here, Bobby. Thanks for having me on. Just give a little bit about what we do. We're located at 134 Riverdale Drive. That's in Oneida. If you can get to Norbert Hill, it's almost on the same street. Just go the other way through the roundabout. You'll notice it's a building with all the flags on it. We're open 7 to 4:30 Monday through Thursday and 6:30 to 3 on Fridays. Our primary mission is to get veterans and their families the services and benefits owed to them by both the state and federal government, as well as other services that can be provided by third-party companies out in town. Most prominent would be Heat for Heroes and the Fox Valley Veterans Council.
All right, I know we were talking before we started about the different groups, and right now you're pretty consolidated. Anybody from any of the Veterans Affairs in the area of WEVA or ONVAC, all these services come out of your department now?
For the most part, WEVA, they hold their meetings, Wisconsin Indian Veterans Association, the Oneida chapter, they hold their meetings at our building once a month. ONVAC, the Oneida Nation Veterans Affairs Committee, the business committee appointed committee to oversee veterans affairs, meet at my building as well. The VFW's got their own beautiful building on the service road. Everybody knows that building super well. But yeah, that's the core group. There's also the auxiliary, which formerly known as the Women's Auxiliary. But now for the auxiliary, you can be a family member of the veteran. So you can be husband, wife, aunt, uncle, child.
Grandson?
I've seen grandsons in there. So it's all for helping veterans. It's all for the betterment of the veteran community.
Hey, I noticed like every year, Memorial Day, all these veterans get together and there's always this awesome ceremony at each one of the cemeteries. How many cemeteries does Oneida Veterans go to? And just tell me a little bit about, the significance of that.
There's 12 total stops. There's 11 cemeteries. The 12th stop is Anna John.
Okay. Oh.
So we do the Memorial Day at each one of the cemeteries. We pick one veteran at that cemetery and we specifically honor them with the rest. And then at the last one is we stop at Anna John. We honor the vets that are there.
If I go to your office and I'm not Oneida, can I still get assistance and services from you, or do you recommend that I go to a different office?
If you're not Oneida, you are more than welcome in our building. As long as you are a veteran, doesn't matter if you're white, black, whatever creed, whatever race, we'll be more than happy to help you.
Oh, that's awesome. I know we get a lot of questions about, is that just for Oneidas or can, other people attend? So that's always good to know as well. And in terms of your building and where you're located, it's kind of a central location on the reservation, easy access to everybody. Tell us, I know you have a Friday morning event that's pretty well attended and pretty well known. Can you tell us about that Friday morning?
Yep, Friday morning we have a breakfast for the veteran community and their family. That's been every Friday, I want to say, for the last 8 or 9 years. My predecessor, Carrie, started that with Carolyn Miller and John Brenninger, and we carried along with John Brenninger, myself, and Joe Valentino. So we do that every Friday, excluding Fridays, holidays or days we wouldn't have, But I'd say a solid at least 48 weeks out of the year we do that.
Then I also know there's the non-Oneidas that go and kind of help out. If somebody wants to donate, a lot of times we get people asking about donations, or I'd like to help out, or I'd like to volunteer. Is there anything specific? I know the veterans usually seem to hand out and support more than they receive in terms of help and donations. But if somebody wanted to make a donation of some kind to the breakfast or to any kind of a fund, who should we contact and how can we do that?
If it's volunteering through time, they're more than welcome to contact me. If it's donations of paper products or coffee, that can come to me as well. If it's any kind of monetary donation, while we greatly appreciate that monetary donation, we recommend bringing that to either Weave or the VFW,
Okay.
and they will see it properly dispersed into the community.
All right. Like I said, I know the veterans invest in the community quite a bit. We had our annual tree lighting ceremony a couple weeks, actually about a month ago, and the veterans every year have offered to do a hot soup, either booyah or chili. They do hot dogs. They do hot chocolate, coffee. They usually get a donation from a local restaurant for the hot beverages. And we just appreciate it so much because, like I said, they give more to the community, I think, than they receive. Are there any unmet needs for our veterans in our area?
There are a few unmet needs, and it's unfortunate that unmet need is fairly common throughout any veteran community. Is going to be housing, finding affordable housing or recovery housing, similar things like that. Most recently, there were a couple of veterans' homes that were closed down for housing. Those were in Green Bay and I want to say Chippewa Falls. Union Grove, I believe, is the only one that's still open. So that is the biggest thing, finding it right now, as well as recovery. There's an organization through the state called Veterans Outreach and Recovery Program, or VORP. They deal with substance abuse and alcohol dependency, and they can also help with housing. They recently lost a few of their staff due to a reorg in the state due to budget cuts, but they are still operating as best they can. I'd say those are our biggest ones.
All right. Want to thank you again for your service, for all the people that you work and the coordination. I know it's not easy coordinating sort of a invisible field out there, who and where everybody is in terms of they're not as always stamped I'm a veteran, but you never see anybody turn away from our Oneida Veterans Affairs Office. Is there anything we overlooked and forgot maybe you'd like to mention?
No, the only thing I would have is you brought up the tree lighting. While I'm here, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all the volunteers and help we had for that. That was an incredibly large ordeal for us to do. We were able to cook and wrap 400 hot dogs and 200 brats in a matter of hours. I mean, we had volunteers from all over the place come over and do it. And as most heartfelt as I can, if you're watching, thank you very much for coming and helping me. I really appreciate that. And the veterans do too.
We want to thank you, Connor. All right. I do have an announcement to make. And tomorrow is a last-minute Christmas shopping opportunity. And it's going to be crafts and food at the Parish Hall, which is at 2936 Freedom Road in Oneida. It begins at 9 a.m. with their craft sales and things like that. And then the food sales will begin at 10:30. And it will be cash sales only. So the food is going to include, I think they're going to have little groupings of corn soup and fry bread with a strawberry drink, or you can get chili, fry bread, and jello cake, Indian tacos with jello cake. So they've got a pretty good menu. They're trying to make some money here before Christmas, and it goes to the Blue Skies Foundation. So tomorrow, Parish Hall, 9 a.m. until they run out. So. And at this time, I'd like to welcome our second guest to our segment, and it's John Danforth. And John is the Director of Trust Enrollments Department. Everybody's always interested in what's going on at Trust Enrollments. It affects almost all of us, all the new things that are happening. I know you've got some information about some changes at the beginning of the year and some of the things that you're doing. John, tell us what's happening.
Yeah, so I'll jump right into, in chronological order of what's occurring at the Trust Enrollment Department. So starting on January 2nd, we will see price increases to some of our services. Tribal ID prices are going up, enrollment application fees, descendant application fees. Basically every service we have across the board is going to be going up. The Trust Enrollment Committee took action a couple months ago to increase these prices. It's been some time. Almost decades since some of these prices.
The $2 ID is no longer going to be available?
The Elder ID will go up to $5.
Oh, wow.
And even at that point, just as a point of reference, it does cost $5.40 to produce every ID. So there's still a bit of a loss at the elder price, but the regular ID will be going up in price as well. So we're working with the communication team to put out an official announcement of what those price increases are going to look like. with an explanation as well coming from the Trust Enrollment Committee on why these prices decided to go up, just to kind of accommodate rising costs across the board. In addition to that, following a couple days later on January 5th, a new members-only portal is going to be launched, and that's going to be at 1 p.m. So right at 1 p.m. on January 5th, the old members-only portal will go completely dark. So what that means is all 14,000 adults who have signed up for that will unfortunately lose access to that old members-only portal. The new portal is going to have a completely different sign-in process, and all users are going to have to sign up for it. One distinction that's kind of coming with that is everyone has to have a unique email address. So mom can no longer use the same email for dad's account or for the kid's account or for the parent's account. Everyone is going to have their
We
own
can't all be
unique-
Webster one.
Right, we cannot be all in the same email anymore. So that's just for security purposes. There's going to be a lot of new capabilities coming along with that. The one thing that I do want to add to that members-only portal is the reason that we're switching over to it is because Trust Enrollment itself is using a new database for the membership database that we have. We're moving away from the old archaic green screens of AS400/Power8/IBM. Something that's been around for decades. We're actually moving to a Microsoft-based program. So with that capability, we were able to offer a new portal to the membership. There's going to be a bunch of new services and connection points on that as the tribe moves forward. So those capabilities will expand over time. Moving on to the wrap-up of fiscal year 2025 GWA. So the late payment for those who didn't make the payment in the fall, that deadline is going to be closing on March 2nd at 4:30 p.m. Central. Those payments will go up by the end of March. And then the major changes that are coming later on this year for fiscal year 2026 GWA, just want to make the distinction too, the amounts are the same as last year. So the minors will receive $1,500 deposit in their minor trust account. 18 and over is still $1,500. Elder 62 is $2,000, and the elder 65 is $703.54.
So the elders get the base 1,500, and then the 62 and older get an additional 2,000, and that those who are 65 and older get an additional 703, which comes from the
Trust funds.
trust fund.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the difference. But everybody across the board will get that base 1,500.
Yep. Including the minors too, they'll receive their deposit. I know
Goes
there's
into
some
their
questions
deposits. Okay.
At Joan Tribal Council that were raised. Are minors still receiving their deposit? Short story, yes, they're still getting their deposit into their account.
Good to hear.
The major change that we're seeing with this is the application and the payment dates are moving up by 1 month. So the application will open up on June 1st, and then applications are due by August 7th. That's going to be Friday, August 7th at 4:30 p.m. Central. And that payment will be made by the end of August versus last year when it was the end of September. The reason that I reached out to every department that's involved in the payment process, and I requested, are we all willing to move this up by 1 month just to help the accommodation of the fiscal year end close that's always occurring in September. If there's a general tribal council meeting, it puts a lot of stress on central accounting and the department and ourselves on top of minor trust distributions. Just trying to spread out the workload a little bit. I don't think anyone's going to have too much of a problem by moving the dates up by 1 month, but just make sure that everyone's aware that we are moving up the application and the payment deadline for GWA in 2026.
But you're going to be back, and you're going to remind of this. Usually when it rolls out, we have somebody from your department or you come in and say, you know, they're out there now, here's the application. And will it change then significantly going to the new? You'll have to, they're going to say, I'm on their list, I already did this, and they're going to not be able to get in. So we need to make sure that. Will there be a separate mailing, maybe an individual mailing that will go out earlier in the year?
Regarding the,
Changes
I think all
to
the changes,
GWA application? Okay.
actually all changes. So membership
All right.
will be notified of the price increases, the new members only portal, and then the 2026 GWA payment deadline applications.
All right. A lot of changes.
Yep.
A lot of work for you. Have you had an increase in any staff to assist with all this extra work
Nope,
going on?
same size.
No?
We're still 9 members. We handle all the payments that come through for the
Wow.
tribe and for General Tribal Council.
It's amazing. We appreciate it. We know after COVID, nobody got expanded too much, and this is probably one of the most important, if not the most important, handles our trust accounts, handles our enrollments, our laws. I mean, everything comes out of that office. So we do appreciate all that you and your team do, John, and Is there anything else we need to cover?
No, this is all just stuff that's on the horizon, and just wanted to make membership aware of what to expect moving forward.
All right. I don't see any questions. Before we leave, I do have a few more announcements. There is Hoyan Education and Donut Demonstration tomorrow night at the Oneida Longhouse, and that's from 5:30 to 8:30, and there will be a light meal. Also, we have an event that's taking place at the Oneida One Stop on the corner of E and Double E tomorrow. They're going to flip the switch at 11 o'clock, and this switch is going to expand the ability and the coverage to get internet at the southern end of our reservation. Right now, it's sketchy. Maybe you've noticed if you're on your cell phone, you're driving down the road and you get past down Freedom Road, you get past E and double E, and all of a sudden, hey, I lost my phone, the coverage, whatever happens. And sometimes internet's off and on. So, got a tower out there, and tomorrow they're going to flip the switch, and hopefully by Friday we've covered up. I mean, it'll be immediately. It'll be by noon. We also have a new license plate that is going to be unveiled, an Oneida license plate that recognizes the plight of the missing, murdered Indigenous women. And this has been a new plate that was designed here in Oneida, and it will go on sale. We're going to announce that on Friday. So watch, we may do a live broadcast, but watch our social network. You will see the brand new Missing Murdered Indigenous Women's license plates for the Oneida Nation. That's Friday. And also wanted to let you know about a new newsletter that is available. If you go to our website and you, what?
We have a QR code on there.
We have a QR code on the screen. Look at it. Again, I told you, I didn't bring my own laptop. It's not up to date. So check our QR code for that new outlet of communication. How to get on our newsletter, access it, do the QR code. If you don't know how, ask your grandchildren. Ask somebody to help you out. And finally, just want to say that this Friday is the last day for the Elder Food Box distribution this year. And that's over by the water tower off of Highway 54 behind Oneida One Stop. Again, starts at 10 a.m. and it's the last one this year. And we'll be back on Thursday, and we have the Oneida hymn singers coming in. And they're going to be singing some Oneida Christmas songs as well as a few of your Oneida favorite hymns. With that, have a great day, and we'll see you Thursday. Nungiwa.